So how are you today?
Good. I'm fixing my lipstick before I talk to you.
That's okay. That's okay. I had a bad makeup day today. I look awful. I'm
You're having a
sorry.
great makeup day and a great hair day, I must say.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So also it's 104 degrees here.
Oh my goodness. We just had a freak crazy thunderstorm here too, so it's like really hot and very humid right now.
Yeah, I've had to switch off the AC for this interview because otherwise my flags blow all over the place. And I'm currently sitting on 3 cushions because if I go too low, you'll see the state my house is. I'm so ashamed of myself.
Thank you for braving the heat for me.
Of course, of course. Okay, hello, ladies, gentlemen, non-binary, anything in between. I'm currently on the line with Bella Vendetta, who is also the CEO of TreasureCams, which I believe is a new venture, probably a few years old now or something.
We're about 1.5 years old at this point.
Oh, congratulations. So tell us more about yourself first before we go on to TreasureCams. What got you started in the industry and what got you to this point?
Oh gosh. It's a long story. I love
long stories.
Let's see.
Can you hold the line for a minute? I think my anal plugs are right.
Ooh, what a joyous occasion.
Okay, hold on. Oh my goodness, timing. Oh, that was disappointing.
It wasn't the butt plug?
No, somebody wanted to buy a lighter off me.
That's not nearly.
Oh, it's like Adam and Eve is really just kind of teasing me at this point, okay? I have to start making content soon and nothing's arrived. I'm like, oh my God. Oh. So anyway, long story.
Okay, so let's talk about how I got involved in the industry. Let me see here. I first got involved in the adult industry at all when I was just over the age of 18. And I ended up doing a formal training at the world's oldest BDSM training chateau to become a professional dominatrix. And so I did a year-long training as a submissive first, and then started taking sessions and training with pro doms and learning from people and taking classes and traveling around and guest mistressing at different dungeons and studios. And during that time, you know, as you're a pro dom, you always have to take pictures, and I really like taking pictures and having my pictures taken, and I liked networking with the photographers. That was like a fun part for me, so I started just making more content, and this is before we called it content.
Oh God, yes.
I've been in the industry this year 20 years, so it's about 21. So sometimes these were even like film cameras that we took pictures.
Oh my God, yeah, those were the days, weren't they?
They really were. And through doing that, I just started getting involved more in modeling and adult modeling and submitting to websites. And it was very taboo to be a pro dom and also be naked anywhere. And so I didn't care much about that. And I loved being naked and didn't feel it took away any of my dominance. And so I started being on some porn sites and eventually doing a mainstream hardcore movie, which went on to win an AVN award, and the rest, as they say, is history as far as that goes, because that kind of catapulted things, and I just got more and more involved with the industry. I launched my own website, bellavendetta.com, in 2003, and had that for almost 8 years going, and it got a lot of great press. I got a lot of great opportunities from that website. We also did things really differently, I feel, on the site. So it makes sense that now when I've come full circle for TreasureCams to just kind of do things completely different and not look at everything that's been done as a blueprint of how to do it again, but figure out how I actually really wanted to run a webcam studio. I have been a webcam performer myself for 13 years, and I joined a webcam studio. I got recruited to a webcam studio, and I did, I think, what a lot of people in the industry do first, which is like fumble around onto various cam sites trying to find where he was and trying to figure the whole thing out without really any help at all. And Jada Diamond, who's a legendary webcam model, ended up recruiting me for her studio, and I'm very thankful that I am smart enough to have paid attention when she was teaching me things, and she was always wanting to teach you things. And, you know, I'm also hard-headed, so I think we went through a few years where I thought, I'm just a different type of performer than you, and everything you're saying isn't relevant to me because I'm not blonde, and I don't do anal, and I don't do... but really what she was teaching me was business, you know, not do exactly as I say. She was teaching me business, and I gave it a shot to listen to her, to do things her way. I ended up making great money and seeing the potential in webcam. But, you know, being a performer at heart, I've always kind of had been juggling like webcam, content making, and feature dancing and stripping because I love performing on stage. But when COVID hit, that changed drastically for me. And so I just went to webcamming. Thankfully for me, like I had a built-in audience, I had experience, I had something to fall back on. And all of my sisters from the club who were then out of work knew that I had this knowledge and started coming to me, and I ended up setting a whole bunch of people up, you know, teaching them how to open OnlyFans, how to be on cam, what you're going to need, what you need to know. Some people did great and thrived and just, you know, transitioned to doing online. Some people are back to dancing and stuff by now. But through all that, probably a few months in, I realized I'm spending a lot of time, energy, and resources helping a lot of people make money online. And sadly, we're not in the olden days anymore. So no one is turning around to kick back a thank you. I'm going to need to start making some money if this is going to be sustainable. And I find that I really like helping other sex workers make money, and I excel at it. And the things that I was telling them to do, like it wasn't just theory anymore. It wasn't me saying you should do this and you'll make money. It was me saying try this and then watching people make the money, you know, after they were trying things that I said. So I talked to Jada and I opened up my own webcam studio, and that is how TreasureCams.com was born.
Wow, that's a great story. I mean, so you kind of started just when narrative porn was kind of on its way out and amateur porn was on its way in. You kind of
started when, you know, in the days before we even had alt porn as a word, and we just knew it was different. I was called fetish porn before anything. Yeah. And the first movie I did with Brian Sherwood won an AVN for best specialty release because they didn't have anywhere to put tattooed performers at that time. Like we were a niche specialty.
Yeah, we are definitely a niche specialty. You know, it's I find that on Model Mayhem sometimes. You know, they're like, can you hide your tattoos? I'm like, I guess I can. It's a very judgmental. Being a model is a very judgmental industry. It's a very competitive industry, and especially with tattoos. So I get that. So
it's very, you know, so I got to also watch as these barriers for tattooed performers got broken, you know, in our industry, and, you know, watching heavily tattooed performers go mainstream. Some of them were my friends. You got to see everyone's come up, you know. Hustler VCA started funding alternative films. I got the very lucky opportunity to work on several of them. So now it's so mainstream now that it's not really that deal.
Yeah,
you know?
it's now part of the kink, I guess. You know, I guess everything's a kink these days, you know, that somebody's going to pay for. I mean, technically, I'm a kink as well, you know, just being trans. It's just the way it is. So what makes you differ from other webcam companies like Chatter? I mean, it's obvious to me, obviously, but Chatterbait is so, what's the word? It's algorithmic, which I find a very uncomfortable place to be in. And then there's TreasureCams, which is very inclusive, if I get my impression right, because I've been looking
at that comes across, you know, where we have all different kinds of people as performers. And I tried to take my history in queer porn and marketing queer porn and bring it to webcam as well. So we're the parent platform that we're on is Stream8, which is one of the biggest webcam companies on planet Earth. And Stream8 itself the way that they run the business is quite different from Chatterbait or really any of the freemium or token-based sites, which I don't like. And there's everyone likes something different. You know, I won't knock anyone who's a Free performer or a Chatterbait performer. Everyone likes something different. I can tell you that in, you know, my days of doing the many sites that I did, StreamMate has always consistently been the #1 highest earning platform that I was on. It was just stupid to even waste my time somewhere else because each, you know, website, it's all about marketing as well. And each website markets the way that they want to and gets the type of customers that they market towards. And when you market towards this is free, it's not really a surprise when you get a lot of cheap customers who don't want to pay you shit.
Yeah.
So, you know, Chatterbait and the token sites, I feel like prey on people who don't understand how it works and don't understand how little they're actually getting from it. So people will come to me and be like, oh, well, I make 80% on this site and StreamMate takes such a big cut that I'm not willing to take it. And, you know, it's 80% of a grape and I'm offering you 29% of a watermelon. So it's a lot. It's even if the percentage is lower, the value is a lot greater. And we're not talking about tokens. We're talking about dollars and cents. And when you see money in your profile of how much you earned, that is how much money you earned and you get to take home.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I kind of like working with sites like Bentbox and so forth, because at least I can see the money coming in, you know, because Bentbox's approach is basically you make your charge and then they put a little on top for them. So you're getting 100% of what you're originally charging, which I like that approach, you know. And the other thing is because it's Australian dollars, every $100 I make, I get it immediately. So that's 10 videos sold for you know, in little time. So that's the kind of market I enjoy, and why I was always dubious about doing work on Chatterbait and stuff like that, because the token system kind of reminds me too much of the YouTube algorithm monetization system, if you know what I mean. You know, and it's not I don't want to find myself in that trap again where I'm promised all this money because I'm a partner, but it just doesn't happen because you just don't reach that percentage, you know?
Well, here's the thing, and so StreamMate, like every website out there, there's an algorithm as well.
Yeah.
And it's all secret back-end shit. And so they tell you you can make all this money, you can make 10K a week, but they won't tell you how to actually do that. They won't tell you what camera you need to get the best rating. They won't tell you what hours are best. They won't tell you what prices are most consistent. They won't tell you what markets to be in. So being in a good webcam studio does tell you all that stuff. You know, people who have figured out how to game the system, how exactly to get to the top. You know, we're a small studio, a year and a half in. I've got a little over 50 performers. Not all of them are active because it's webcam and this is sex work.
Yes, yeah.
But of the people that are active, we've got 5 models in the top 200 earning models on all of StreamMate across the globe.
Wow.
Those are the earning webcam models, and it's because they are the ones that listened to me and did what I said and listened to all those little quirks that I just said about the hours, you know, the camera, the connection, all the things that you don't know as a independent streamer. You know, tons of people just come to me and say like, oh, well, I have the best internet and I have this and that, but they don't know that StreamMate, it's just like anything else. When you log in, they can tell what your connection is, what computer you're on, what camera you're using, how often you're on, the hours you're on, the averages that you do, and they give you traffic and ranking accordingly. And so you need to know that stuff in order to get the best ranking. And if you don't know that stuff, you're literally in the dark just trying to figure it out, you know?
Which is why I appreciate reaching out to people like you. I mean, I've only kind of just started in the industry right now, so I'm technically a babe in the woods, you know. So listening to advice from people like you and other people who have done their OnlyFans with a bit more experience is very informative. It's the kind of information I need to learn, because I don't want to kind of go into this, what's the word, blind and say I'm going to make lots of money just, you know, just jerking off in front of a camera and stuff, because that's not how it works, you know. You might be new, you might get a few people who will subscribe to you for a while, and then find yourself in the top. I've had people say, oh, I was in the top 20 when I first started out, and then I kind of dropped down. And I think that's kind of like the marketing mistake. They kind of rest their laurels on being in that top 20 when they start out, and then they don't know what to do with that marketing after that. And that's what I'm hoping to learn from people like you, you know. And that's why I appreciate you. So 50 performers in in TreasureCams, you have a really good policy as well. I mean, one of the things I really loved was how how you claim. Please be careful, Kat. Do not knock that light over. Okay, so yeah, 50 performers. Yeah, your policy is basically you tend to look out for your people, which I kind of liked. That was the impression I got. Is you care about the people who work for you, but also what kind of grabbed me was that you mentioned any gender. You didn't turn around and like most people say, "Are you trans?" or whatever. It was a very kind and very open temptation for me when I contacted you. So what is your take as a cis person yourself? What is your take on the growing trans industry now in porn? Do you think the porn industry has now improved its approach to it, or do you think it's still kind of going backwards a little?
In some ways, it's definitely improved insofar as that you get to see trans performers in many mainstream productions that you didn't see them in before. So the representation is there, and it's improved for all performers insofar as that we've got people making their own content now. So it's not based on what studios are willing to put out, but certainly we have a long way to go.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
I mean, I've noticed that such as those like she-male and tranny porn and stuff has been less of a hashtag these days when people do it and searching. I know that Pornhub has cleaned up its approach to trans porn, for example. I think Chelsea Poe had a lot to do with that with that campaigning, and like I said, one of
performer actually, Chelsea Poe.
Oh well, there we go.
She won XBiz. She won a Why Not Trans Cam Performer of the Year award with us.
She did, yeah. I think she was actually the first porn actress I interviewed on my channel, so I was very happy to do that as well. But one of the things that I liked was Chelsea Poe was a very active person when it came to changing the face of trans porn and the way it works. So was TreasureCams involved in that kind of push at all, or?
I mean, I think I always have been, because I've always on my websites had trans performers and have never marketed them using derogatory slur words.
Which I appreciate.
So it's always the proof for me. Like whenever people would say, "Oh, we need to use these terms because that's what people know," I can always point to films like Training a Poe and be like, "Well, we got an nomination with this one, and we never once said that. We just marketed it as porn. It was girl on girl, femdom porn. That's what it was." And no one batted an eye. It's okay. No one died. The world didn't end. Like
yes,
time. So TreasureCams for me, it's the same way. People should be able to refer to themselves as whatever they want. I think there's a lot to be said for queer performers not having to act a certain way, thinking that they have to act a certain way in order to make money. And I like to cleanse everyone of that and let them know that you can still be a queer performer and still make money. In fact, there's a lot of value in that. And there's also a lot of queer porn and cam consumers out there who appreciate that. So, it doesn't have to be one way.
Yeah. So, where do you see the future of TreasureCams? What's your ultimate goal with it?
Well, when I sit and visualize my ultimate goal, it involves having an island somewhere with all the performers, like a cabana and a big, huge physical cam studio. I don't know if I'll get there, but
you made me want to rush my application now.
But I think the future, we'll keep growing and get to a certain point where I'm going to probably need help because I do it by myself. So either at some point we'll have to cut it off or we'll have to get help. But I think we're just going to keep growing. We've got 5 new performers this week, which is awesome. One I'm super excited about. So, we're just going to keep doing our thing. We're going to keep rocking and rolling and getting people money and getting people's bills paid, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day,
It is. I mean, like I said, I'm completely new to this, and I'm not doing it because it's all I can do. Technically, it is, but I'm doing it because I've always been fascinated. I did porn before when I was young and stupid, you know, but now I've kind of grown up and I've learned a lot more and how to interact and stuff. And one of the things I would ask you is, what advice would you give to somebody like me who is just starting out? What is the foundation they should really focus on to at least establish themselves, or at least get started safely? Because there's a lot of willing people out there who are willing to help me, if you catch my meaning.
Yeah, there's a ton. And things like cam studios have a bad reputation because of that. But I think for anyone doing any facet of the industry, from full service to webcam to phone to content creation, the most important thing is to be able to schedule yourself and to know your own body's limits and to not surpass them because your body is your job. And if you do any one of those jobs, and it's really important that you take care of it. So, you know, scheduling means scheduling days off, scheduling meals, scheduling time to do admin work, because you can surf Twitter any hour of any day and find a sex worker who's saying how burnt out they are, how they never get a day off, how they have to constantly create, constantly upload. And I try to get people, you know, my approach with TreasureCams is to completely take that off the table.
Just try to get a timetable sorted out, yeah.
To have set hours. To, you know, some people might get frustrated with me because they're like, well, I emailed you this morning and I haven't heard. Well, it's not my office hours. I need to take care of my own physical and mental health, and I have office hours in which I don't deviate out of. Otherwise, it's a slippery slope of, you know, burnout and feeling overwhelmed for me. So make sure that you just have strong boundaries, know what your limits are, and are able to schedule yourself.
Yeah, it's like when people are emailing me or I'm emailing people, sometimes we can go days without responding to an email because we have either we're burned out or we've got so much going on. But the one thing I've admired about the people I've worked with and who are working with me is their patience over the issue. You know, because they've dealt with it a lot longer than I have. And one of the things I really appreciated was their patience, because it's a 24/7 job at the moment, you know, just establishing yourself. And I'm hoping
It shouldn't be.
Yeah, I hope not.
If it's a 24/7 job, then something needs to give, because that's not sustainable, possible. So you got to do things in a way that it's not a 24/7 job. It's just a job. It doesn't need to be in someone's entire identity, friend group. It will change your life, but it is a job. And so you can't lose sight at the end of the day. Even people who are like, I'm doing this because I love it, because I love porn, because I love sex, because I'm an exhibitionist. That's wonderful that you love your job. But my job before this was a fine dining chef, and I love food. I'm a foodie, and I grew up in a food family. But you won't catch me in a commercial kitchen working for free just because I love food. It's a really hard job. It's a very hard job, and it needs to be paid, and you need days off from it. It's not possible to do it 7 days a week. You will literally die. And sex work is the same way. You can't do it 7 days a week. You can't. Something's got to give. You have to have a better schedule than that then.
This is my I'm listening to my guru face right now. So it's like I said, I still have a lot to learn and a lot of patience. I mean, the other day I think my problem is I have an issue saying no, you know, but I will learn. I will definitely.
Every sex worker does, because we have trouble saying no because we don't know when the next money will come, and we don't want to miss out on money, because most of us come from a place where we're insecure from money, right? A lot of us come from poverty. So the thing I like about webcam and TreasureCams is that I can put someone on a 4 to 5 day a week schedule of no more than 20 hours. And I can guarantee that they'll take home a paycheck that will pay their bills, and that they need to take the rest of the time off. Because what you can't do, a quick way to burnout is to say, okay, I've got this money from Cam. Now I'm going to focus on OnlyFans. So then today is a content creation day, and then the next day I'm going to upload it, and then the next day I'm going to go back to Kim. You haven't given yourself any.
Oh yeah, I remember speaking. Yeah, I remember speaking to somebody the other day, and she said I did 20 solos in 2 weeks, and I kind of like, I don't think that's the game I want to up.
It's not a good game.
No.
It's not.
Yeah.
I can say that for the future of our industry, I think it's definitely moving quickly away from things like OnlyFans and subscription-based models, and to one-on-one interactions like phone and webcam, because we can look at porn for free all the time if we want to. You can find almost anything for free. Most people don't value paying for it. But, you know, you can't find for free. You can't find a 20-minute conversation with me delving deep into my brain. You can't get for free me doing submissive training with someone. You can't get for free me fucking myself with a dildo and moaning your exact name. You know, these are all things that are custom to a person and that command a lot of money and that should get a lot of money. And there's still people willing to pay it because all those things I mentioned, like I said, you can't just find for free. But as far as content and naked pictures, it's almost like nothing special anymore. It's like you have to, people think it's just like part of the game that you have to do these things, but you don't always have to do it. You don't.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also a model outside of the sex industry as well, and I was dealing with a photographer who would pay me, and he kind of tried to push me for 3 hours straight, just posing and everything, and I was in a way training him as well. I said, it's really hot in Vegas, and 3 hours of me just standing here and posing there is gonna, it's literally gonna make me collapse. I understand. I'm basically trying to explain to him that modeling is not just me standing. It's not as easy as you think it is. No. Especially as a woman, because they really break you as a woman. They put you in so many impossible contortions. Ever since I become a female, not female. I shouldn't be using the term female, a male to female model, I've noticed they've contorted me in so many painful ways, so much different from when I was the guy, and I'm going to assume that's the same for probably even more so for the porn industry outside of webcamming. If you're working for an industry giant or something, has that been your experience where they just kind of push you beyond your limits?
Oh my God, yeah, 110%. I mean, back in mainstream porn days was days of like 6-hour travel days on a plane to get there, be put in makeup, be dressed up like a fucking idiot, be given stupid lines that literally are designed to make me look like an idiot, and put in extremely uncomfortable positions to have sex, and then be told to act like I enjoyed it. It wasn't really my idea of glamour. Some of it was very, very fun, but some of it was like just it's not fun. I like doing my own productions better, which I would never ask a human being to do any of those things, ever. That's just not the kind of porn that I make.
So it's nice to finally find your own self-control. I mean, do you think that's what's going with the porn industry now, that performers are now able to control their own destiny? Absolutely.
And that's what I also like about webcam. There's literally there's no one there telling you to do anything. Even if a customer says, okay, in fact, last time I cammed, a customer said, I'm looking for someone to put both of the legs behind their head and fuck themselves. And I was like, I am physically able to do that, but I do not want to, because that's extremely uncomfortable. And it was like 8 a.m. and I had just got on camera. Like this.
Oh, yeah.
That I had for 8 a.m. cam shows was not what I was in the mood for. And I said that, and I was like, if you caught me on a different day, at a different time, I might want to do it. And he was very nice about it. But that's webcam. I don't have to do anything, because if you don't want to show with me, someone else is going to come along that wants what I'm serving up. And what I'm serving up this morning is not legs behind my head, fucking myself with a dildo. I'm sure someone else somewhere is. Go and find them. It's not me. Like, you're in complete control. You can say no to people all the time. I tell people to always say no if it's something you don't want to do. And don't have the scarcity mindset of, well, I have to do this show. I haven't done a show all night, so I'm going to have to do this thing I don't want to do. Just, you don't have to do it. You'll find your own audience of whatever you are trying to market.
So back to the Chatterbait thing and everything. Chatterbait thing. Do you think that sites like Chatterbait and OnlyFans and Fansly have kind of oversaturated the market a little?
Yeah, I mean, I won't pretend that webcam everywhere isn't oversaturated, even our own platform. There's hundreds of thousands of new models every single week who are just getting into this game right now. But I know from experience and running the studio now that it's a lot of people don't stay. It's not for everyone. It's just not for everyone. It's really hard. And most people will come at it thinking it's going to be easy money, and they're just going to open an OnlyFans and make all this money. They don't realize that you have to market it. They have never considered marketing for their body before, and they don't know the work that goes into that. They don't know how to market. They don't even know what the porn market is because most of them aren't porn consumers. So they go in it blind completely. And then, you know, people start sending them DMs and they do well. And then they're like, oh, this is all the time. I have to reply to these people constantly. Now I need to do a new photo set. I'm tired. I get my period this week and I don't want to do it. And then they just quit because it's not for them. The people that stay are the people who have a regimented schedule and who know when their shoot days are, when their reply days are, when their upload days are, when their streaming days are, what their prices are set at. They've researched the market a little bit. They know what markets they're in. They know what words to use. They know what sites to go to advertise. We can't, you know, I don't have a ton of sympathy for new sex workers who come in and just throw everything at the wall on every single platform and then get frustrated that nothing sticks because then you're like, I tried and I failed. And I say, you didn't really try.
You didn't really try, no. Well, I think what it is some people kind of like wondering why I'm slow releasing content right now, and I think it's because I'm marketing myself before I just throw myself into that deep end. You know, I have a modeling career to think about. I have to show people the body is there, that they can enjoy. It's kind of like, I think the slow reveal is probably the best thing. I find that for me to be the best. I mean, I could make money tomorrow just jerking off, but that would be a very quick thing. I want people to see who I'm becoming, if that makes any sense, how I'm going, you know, and that's why I'm probably the slow burner, I guess. I mean, I don't want to kind of rush into it, and that's why I listen to people like you and Chelsea and stuff like that to make sure that I'm approaching this the right way. I mean, am I doing it wrong? Am I doing, what would you advise for somebody like me? Am I doing it too slowly? Am I doing it at the right pace? Is there a pace I need to find?
I mean, can answer that because you should never go beyond your own comfort level. So if your comfort level is going slow, then that's absolutely what you should do, you know?
Yeah.
Percent.
Yeah. I just got a lot to learn. That's all, and I appreciate that. You know, as soon as I've applied to you.
A lot of camming too. It's like, so I used to do these hour-long like one-on-one consults with new models before they started camming, and I've stopped doing it because I find in 2 weeks we need to do another one because there's questions that come up that you didn't know to ask because you hadn't done it before. So a lot of it is experience. It's just putting yourself out there and trying it and doing it, and then taking stock of what worked and what didn't and how you can approach things.
Yeah, because camming for me is a completely different thing. I'm so used to doing everything that is preset for a still or for a movie. So I think that's why the camming thing is kind of nerve-wracking for me, because I'm doing it live, and there could be a day where I just can't come, you know, that kind of thing, which can happen.
Yep.
And at least on set, I can deal with that as a cut. When it's live, it's a completely different approach, obviously.
Yeah, but also the thing with that is that, you know, when a lot of trans models will start and say that, right? And they'll be like, I tried camming. It's not for me because I can't come like that constantly, right?
Yeah.
And neither can I. So market shows like that. That means that you've got to have some alternative things that it can't just be all about this. You have to be able to do some role play, some fantasy, some storytelling, some toy shows, some fetish shows. I just named 5 genres that you can make a whole career out of any one of those 5 things. So just adding one more thing into your repertoire that isn't just a cum show can make you a lot of money.
God, I love talking to you. Unfortunately, I feel like I'm getting all this free advice and I shouldn't be. I'm sorry. What is your future? What do you plan for yourself before we go? What is it Bella Vendetta wants to achieve for herself? What is her ultimate goal? Is it to retire? You know, on a length of gold or something?
Just yet. But I'm ready to try new things. I've been exploring photography as a side hustle for the last couple of years, which I always kind of did, but I've been doing it more seriously. And I think this year my goal is to open up a photography gallery because I would really like that.
I would love to see something like that.
So that's the hope, you know, that's the hope. But the sex work kind of funds all that stuff. So I won't be retiring anytime soon. TreasureCams isn't going anywhere. You know, I hope that we're having a 10 and 20-year anniversary party, you know?
Oh, I'll be there to celebrate that.
Yeah, I hope so.
So, are you attending any events this year? AVN, Tea Awards, that kind of thing?
I'm not, because of COVID. I've just decided that instead of having anxiety and feeling insecure about it, I'm just not going to do events this year. I hope to get back to them soon, whenever I feel like it's safe for me. I just don't feel like that time is now.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Vegas here lifted its mask mandate, and I've literally been inside more than I've been out because of it. COVID's not gone, and
No,
that's you know, and that's the scary thing. Everybody's behaving like it is, and that's the scary thing. Yeah,
I'm immunocompromised and disabled, and I just don't want to take risks with my health. It's like
obviously.
I said, taking care of my body. This is all I have. I don't have anyone who's going to pay my bills if I get sick, so I have to take care of it, and I just don't want to take big risks with it. And that, for me, I mean, guess that means I stay home a lot, and that's okay. That's just okay. Luckily for me, my job is from home, and I can still make my money, you know?
Yeah, and I think you do a fantastic job at it. I will be applying, as I've already told you. I look forward to working with you in the future. And I guess I could call this a proxy interview. I don't know. But yeah, I'm hoping to do more podcasts like this. So if you know any other of your performers who would like me to cover them, I would be more than happy to.
Absolutely. We have plenty of gorgeous and genius people in the studio who would love to talk, I'm sure.
That would be absolutely wonderful. I really look forward to it. Thank you. And unless there's something else you'd like to add.
I'll add that a majority of my time goes to updating my personal site, Vendettaverse, which I launched this year. And I'm super proud. So I would love people to check that out. It's Vendetta.
I'm already there.
Yes, excellent. Great.
So I will definitely link that in. Basically, what I'm doing with this is it's going up on 2 YouTube channels, my main channel and my Cassandra Dark channel, where I'll be focusing more on the porn industry, because kind of got to separate the two. Again, algorithms. But it's been absolutely wonderful talking with you, and I hope I can do it again sometime.
I hope that we do a recap of your first 6 months of camming or something.
Oh, I would love to do that. Thank you. Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So
thanks for having me. This was fun, and hopefully I hear from you soon, and we complete the circle.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry about my makeup. I had a terrible day.
No, you're great.
Thank you. Oh. Now you're going to get me crying. Thank you. All right. Anyway, you have a wonderful day, and don't do anything I wouldn't do. It doesn't leave much to the imagination, I assure you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good day.